Thank you for joining us on today's Beyond the Badge. This month, we are highlighting all the good things that women bring to Team CPD. And today, we also have another special guest. This time, we have Corporal Amanda Cobbs. She is part of our motor squad. She is our Hit Run Investigator. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you guys for having me. I feel special y'all selected me today.
Listen, you bring a lot to everyday things and down in patrol, of course. So, of course, we want to make sure that you have a seat at the table to tell us about all the great things that you do. So, for those who don't know and who may be watching or listening to this episode, what exactly does a hit and run investigator do?
So we're closely involved with accidents. All we do is accidents. And the ones that we work on are the ones that people that don't stay on scene. Like if they hit your vehicle, they flee, and we have to find them. That is where I come into play, and that is my role.
Okay, so you've been in this role for how long now?
Approximately 2 years now. Time has
2
gone
years.
by. Yeah, it's flown by.
That's crazy. I feel like when I first came, you were doing something completely different, but now you've been in this role for 2 years. Time is really flying, and I've only been here for like 3.5 years. So what do you love most about this role now that you're in?
So I get to talk to different people. More so like in patrol, you have the time to actually sit down, do one-on-ones with people. Although it's like not the best circumstances, you're able to take a bad day and make it a great one. You're able to actually see the person and see their circumstances, because sometimes when a person commits a crime, and although traffic is like a minor crime, you get to understand their why, and you get to help them on the back end, because ultimately the goal of law enforcement is to make sure that we cite violations, but we also prepare the person to be successful going forward after us interacting with them. So
I remember being like a victim of a hit and run before someone hit my car and they left. And I remember in that moment, I felt helpless, because I was like, what am I going to do? Somebody just hit my car and left me with all this damage on my car. And I was still living in Huntsville, Alabama at the time. But what is that conversation like with people who are victims of hit and runs? Like, well, you said you meet a lot of people, in this space, but what is that conversation like?
Well, the feeling that you described is exactly how they feel. Most of them feel powerless. They feel like they should have done more, when really, in honesty, it's sometimes the first time a person's been in an accident. They may have not interacted with somebody in a stressful situation, and most times when you talk to them, they feel like it's their fault. Because they should have been paying attention, or they should have got the tag number. They should have done a maneuver better. But in speaking with them, it really, my role most of the time, I just build their confidence to let them know that, hey, this happened, but you can take these steps next time to be more successful. Like, I highly recommend people, if you don't have one, to get like a dash cam or some type of recording equipment in your vehicle. That cuts down on liability a lot. You don't have to follow or chase a person down. You kind of have information that you can provide to us when we speak on the scene. And also the other thing is simply just giving people information, like providing them with information, empowers a lot of people. A lot of folks don't realize that you can file a report if a person hits your vehicle and leaves. Some of them feel like if they hit the car and they're not there and I can't prove it, they simply just don't call in. They don't have faith in the resource being available.
You mentioned getting a camera like to put inside of your car, which is a really, really good idea and resource to have. But I have to imagine that for people who don't have a camera in their car, and let's just say you have to go and track down a suspect or something like that, that's got to be like a needle in a haystack. Like what type of training or resources are you honing into when you're looking for the suspect in a hit and run?
So first off, again, hit and runs are one of the hardest vehicle crimes to solve at times, because the evidence doesn't stay there and the vehicle moves. People wash their vehicles. They even paint, get somebody in a backyard body shop to fix on the vehicle. So with the training that we receive, we look at the vehicles, we look in the areas, because people are creatures of habit, believe it or not. And sometimes vehicles drive in multiple areas, the same spot multiple times a day. We try to get a good description of the vehicle. try to look at the damages on the vehicle and the other person's damage, because whenever a vehicle collides with another one, it leaves paint. Like, it has trace evidence on the vehicle that will allow us to know whether that vehicle that you say is involved or not. And also just sometimes when you interview people, they want to do the right thing, but they don't feel like they should, because they have other things going on, such as not having the funds for other reasons, not for being bad people. They just in a situation, maybe dealing with poverty and not having a job and just can't afford to have insurance. And they just made a decision that day to do something they needed to do. So just being understanding to the whole totality of what I'm dealing with as far as investigating the person that committed the crime and the person that experienced the crime being committed against them.
What do you wish drivers understood, like, about what you're saying, like, you know, with your job of having to piece all that together? But what do you wish drivers understood about leaving the scene of an accident?
Oh, it is devastating. It will mess up your driver's license. I know no matter what you may have going on, like if you have warrants, if you don't have insurance, if your license is suspended, we can work through all of those things, because the offense hit and run, a lot of people don't know, it carries a license suspension. Mm-hmm. That is what ultimately you will face after the fact, in addition to paying the fines once we find you. And it's a lot of investigatory hours that go into finding a hit and run. And a lot of people say, hey, why aren't you doing this? Why can't you do my case? Well, it takes a lot to put hours towards a case for a person to come in and say, oh, I did it, when they could have just stayed at the scene. And it just it's not as expensive. And trust me, it will do wonders for your license if you stay on the scene.
So don't leave the scene of a crash. Stay there, even if it is an honest mistake. We all make mistakes, right? And
we do. We're not perfect. Some people just don't get caught. And that's the only difference.
That is so true.
Yes.
So on days when you have like those hard cases where it's tough to piece it all together, like, what keeps you going?
Well, you know, this is so cliche, but, you know, I love my hometown. It's Buena Vista. If y'all not familiar with Buena Vista, Georgia, it's a little bit south of here. You should visit it, but don't move there because I need space for myself. Don't take up all the living space. But it's very nice. Like, I try to, you know, I think about where I came from, all the sacrifices, the people in my community, my parents, those that supported me on this journey to become an officer made. And it just makes it worth it. It kind of recharges my battery and it keeps my why activated. So I'm able to provide a service to the community here.
That's amazing. So talking about your why, what made you step into law enforcement? You're from Buena Vista, small town Georgia girl. What made you decide to step into the role of law enforcement?
So funny you should ask. So I actually needed a job when I was looking to change careers. My former boss, Ms. Dawn Welch, she took a chance on me and hired me and gave me my first job. I really shout her out and appreciate her. Told me about the CALIA class that we offer here, which is the Citizens Law Enforcement Academy. I got some exposure. I got to do some ride-alongs, met some really great people. And just looking at the whole dynamic of domestic violence and being from a small town, you kind of see that a town may try to fill some things, but there's simply some resources that we just aren't privy to because of like budgets and education. So just understanding the dynamic of domestic violence, seeing some things like, you know, in the area with certain people, certain friendships, I really felt like people needed a voice in the domestic violence community. And when I say domestic violence, it could be both men and women, just people suffering abuse in relationships just in general. And I just kind of wanted to be a sounding voice for those people.
That's amazing. This profession obviously is very demanding. How do you strike that balance, like outside of the badge? When you take the badge off, who is Amanda Cobbs?
Well, I love to go clearance shopping.
Okay.
You'll probably find me somewhere. Yes, I love a good sale. So you'll probably see me somewhere checking the prices. So I don't like paying a whole lot for nothing. But you'll see me out shopping. I like to watch movies and, you know, just go for walks. Just get out the house. And again, like I say, just drive just to, you know, see a different scene. Just get out the house.
So retail therapy is an amazing thing. You have to tell us, like, where can we find the good deals? Because the only thing I heard was clearance, and you don't like to pay full price for stuff. Where can we find the deals?
Girl, I can't give up on my secrets now.
Okay, you gotta
I'll give you a little bit.
Okay,
though.
give me a little bit.
You might can go to Ulta. they might can help you there.
Ulta, okay. I do shop at Ulta, so I do rake up the deals there.
Well, like TJ Maxx and places like that, like Ross, where you get the good for the half price.
Okay.
That's my spot. I love those spots.
We like all that good stuff. So, in retail therapy, one time you're gonna have to come back and show us what you found. We have to do like a Cobbs clearance rack or something right here. We can put this out here. We good? Okay, we can do that. So in this role now, you are a hit and run investigator. Talk about the women who came before you in this role and the impact that they've had on you and how you handle cases now.
Well, so I will go back to my small town again and shout out Chief Sharon Williams, who's now taken, in that position, in that role, given the eyes to say, like, a woman can do this job. She, as a young child, she's one of the few people that I saw as a female officer. Major Barker Wright for taking that chance, and she knows what I'm talking about. And then from, like, in the role that I currently have now, just women like Chief Deborah Kennedy, Chief Fitzpatrick. Chief Fitzpatrick, believe it or not, y'all, she started off very humble beginnings. She was a hit and run investigator who then passed it on to Corporal Ross Hall, who was the person that worked the position before me and taught me what I know. And now it's me. So I thank all of those women tremendously. Each one of you have had an impact on what I'm doing right now. And it's just amazing to see women come up through the ranks, honestly, and just be who they are and be a sounding presence for other women that are doing this job.
So you talked about the women who are in law enforcement. You mentioned Barker Wright, Kennedy, Dan Fitzpatrick, Ross Hall, and your hometown hero, police chief. What's her name again? Say it again.
Sharon Williams.
Sharon Williams. You said that. I was about to say something else. Forgive me. We love you, Sharon Williams.
We love you.
So what about a woman outside of law enforcement?
Well, my mama and my grandma and my aunts every single day of the week. I thank those women because y'all giving me the strength to, like, when your parents raise you up, just being a woman in the household, you just think that, everybody's being so rough on you and they're just like making you do all these things. Even the smallest of tasks that your mom or your grandmas and aunts ask you to do, they help create the person you are today. Because every bit of discipline that I gained from those situations has allowed me to be more patient with people that may have experienced some things in their life that I've overcome. So it gives me like that moment to look back and provide a moment of guidance instead of criticism. So, and even the women, like, there's a lot of women, and I didn't mention like people like Lieutenant Holland. I love her too. It's a lot of women that do this job, that don't often get the recognition they deserve, mainly because they don't feel that, well, the people around them just see as a woman, like, that's your role. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to, be nurturing. You're supposed to be kind. So oftentimes they feel unappreciated. But for the women that do stay in this job, and I have to give a major kudos to yourself, you've also paved the way for a lot of females, especially like this, what we're doing now. This was not something that we did prior to you being here. So you've opened a lot of doors for females as well. So
you talking about me?
Yes.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. Since you've came to the department, not just saying that, just being genuine, a lot of opportunities have opened up. So I've never had the opportunity to do something like this prior to you being here. Even when we did our first, I think it was the appreciation day for the people at work, we had like the money bin and all those fun things that it had such an impact because the morale was so low. When you came to our department, morale was on the floor. We had not that many people there. And when we had those different events, like just things that were different that we hadn't had exposure to, it did give people a lot of energy. They felt welcome. They felt seen. Like, everybody loved that little money bin with the wind, the stuff blowing in it.
Yeah,
that was something that people talked about. And, I know you don't get the kudos that you deserve, and this is just not because it's live. This is something I would have told you in person. Thank you.
Aw,
thank
you.
Yes.
Girl, don't stop. The camera's on me and everything. But no, like this, I appreciate those words. That it really does mean a lot to me. And like I said, just, coming into this department, I'm a girl who likes to have fun. I am. And so it's amazing that you say something about the money bin. Assistant Chief Dent Fitzpatrick was leading EAW that year, and I told her, I said, I want to have some fun.
And that we did. We've had perk time. We enjoy it.
Well, yes, and we won't talk about the perk time.
Yeah, that's our secret.
Well, yeah, that's our secret. But yes, but yeah, shout out to her for, allowing me to even be in the space to help plan that as well. But that really does mean a lot to me. And shout out to your parents for raising such an amazing woman and officer and all. You're so kind. Girl, I wasn't ready for that.
Well, it's true.
But I appreciate it. So we're going to go into a little bit of a little bit of the rapid fire. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
hit me with it, sister.
I'll call it. It's a little slow fire. I won't.
A little burn.
Just a little burn. So you have to tell me: Are you a coffee or an energy drink type
coffee.
girl?
I love Starbucks.
Coffee. Are you early or night shift?
Early.
What kind of music are you playing in your patrol car? R&B, country, gospel, hip hop.
All the above, but I can go from Anita Baker, which is my girl, to Megan Thee Stallion real quick.
Good knees. We talked about. We talked about the good knees. Okay, one word your coworkers would use to describe you.
Ooh, girl, you put me on a spot.
I said a little burn.
I will say they think I'm fun, like interesting to be around, like the honest friend, like that friend.
I'm
the friend they come to when they want to hear what other people are scared to say.
Okay.
So I keep it real with them.
Okay.
The keep it real friend.
The keep it real friend. That's not bad. We want somebody that can keep it real and honest. Okay, beach or mountains?
Beach. Girl, yes, the beach.
Favorite food?
Spaghetti.
Homemade or store-bought?
Homemade, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
I have to make sure.
Country people cook, honey.
Yes.
We don't eat out the box.
Yes, we don't do box spaghetti. The best advice you've ever received?
Be yourself. And even if being yourself means you have to walk away, do it and walk away with your head held high and trust God at all times. He will give you the answers.
Perfect. If you weren't in law enforcement, what job do you think you'd have?
Ooh, I would like to act.
Tyler Perry. I don't know if you'll ever see this, but we don't shoot small over here. Hook my girl up.
Yeah, help me out.
She got a little something over there. She can, One thing people would be surprised to learn about you.
Well, I know everybody that know me know I love the Lord, but I guess, oh gosh. But despite my hair, I do love hair. Like, I love different hairstyles.
Your hair looks fine.
I mean, thank you, girl. But I like wigs. I like different looks. I like to change it up. And I guess a lot of people don't know that because I kind of just like wear it regular for work, but I change a hairstyle in a heartbeat.
So no one would know you on the weekend is what you're saying?
No, ma'am.
Okay, she got a little incognito.
This hair will be different. I promise you that.
How long have you been with CPD?
This will be my 10th year, actually 11th, excuse me. 11th year, because I did some civilian time, but this is my 11th year with all my time combined.
Nice. Well, like I said, we are so glad to have you here. Thank you for everything that you bring to Team CPD, and you're just a joy to be around.
Well, thank you.
All right, so that's going to do it here on Beyond the Badge. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See you.